Hello everybody, my name is Hamad Al Ismail. I am a student at KFUBM, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, under Engineering Management Department. I am today introducing a topic for a course called Manufacturing System and Supply Chain Design. The article title is, or the topic that I will introduce is production, planning, and control for remanufacturing, literature review and analysis. So let's begin now. This is the title for the article and the other information and the journal name, as you can see. And this is the abstract for the article that I'm introducing. What is PPC remanufacturing? In the future, a few products will be discarded before their potential to be reused, remanufactured, and recycled is explored. Remanufacturing is the process of recovering value from used products by replacing components or reprocessing used parts in order to bring the products to a like new condition. Production planning and control has a fundamental role in this process, since it represents all planning and control production activities needed to produce goods. Production planning. Production planning can be referred to as a technique or forecasting every step in the long process of a production, taking them at the right time and in the right degree, and trying to complete operations at the maximum efficiency. The planning for industrial operations involves three considerations. So you have to consider three questions when you plan for industrial operation. The first question is what work shall be done? The second question, how the work shall be done? And the third question is when the work shall be done. So the three questions are what, how, when. And we'll see the details for this question in the next slides. PPC, which is production planning control, PPC concepts developed since the late 19th century. This is the history of production planning. I try to brief it. And the factories were simple at that time in the 19th century. The factories were simple and relatively small, and also small number of products with large batches at that time, not like our time nowadays. It were only small number of products, and also work for each man and each machine used to be charged out. Even as the factories grow, they were just bigger, not more complex. So at that time, if a factory grow, it will be a bigger factory, not a complex factory like the factories that we have it nowadays. The main industries at that time, it's for example the railways. It was the main industry at that time in the 19th century. So PPC characteristics, inputs like material, men, and machines are efficiently used. Factors of production are integrated to use them economically. Division of work is undertaken carefully. This is very interesting point. Division of work is undertaken carefully so that every available element is properly utilized. Every element is utilized. Work is regulated from the first stage, from the first step of a procurement raw materials to the stage of finished goods. And the last thing, questions like what, when, how to be manufactured are decided. This is also an important point. Questions like what, when, how is to be manufactured are decided. As you can see here, the objectives of production planning, we can start from the first green circle. Effective utilization for resources. This is the objective of PPC. Effective utilization of resources, steady flow of a production, estimate the resources, ensures optimum inventory, coordinates activities of departments. As you can see, all these objectives are the essential things on the companies, on the firms, on the department. This is a very important objectives that I think all the companies or every industry company or factories should have. Also minimize the wastage of raw materials, improve the labor productivity, helps to capture the market, also provides a better work environment, facilitates quality improvement, results in consumer satisfaction. This is very important, and also reduce the production cost. Production planning. So at the planning stage, we have preparation of a production budget. So you will prepare the budget, devising manufacturing method and sequence of operation, then deciding type of machines and equipment. This is the steps of a planning. And then preparation of operations sheets and instructions card, estimating men, machine, and material requirements, undertaking time and motion studies, preparing master schedules. Here you can see the PPC process from our top, production planning and control, and split it to two. The first one, production planning, and the second one is a production control. So we have planning and we have control. Under planning, we have planning, routing, scheduling, and loading. And under the control, we have dispatching, following up, inspection, and corrective. And each element of this process, we'll see it in the next slides. So the PPC, the process, so as we saw before, and the planning, we have to ask what is the task. To plan, you have to ask what is the task, and to route, you have to ask where it needs to be carried out, so the location. For scheduling, you have to ask also when it needs to be carried out, so you will know the timings. And finally, on the loading, you have to ask who will perform the task. You have to know that the person or the department, you have to know who will perform the task. So we have planning, routing, scheduling, and loading. And these are the related questions for every one of them. For planning, we'll just go a little bit deep. It is the first element of a production planning and control. Planning means, in general, this is a general definition of planning. Planning means deciding in advance what is to be done in the future. So an organizational setup is created to prepare plans and policies. Various charts, manuals, and the production budget are also prepared. Planning provides a sound base for control. So a planning, I can say it leads to control. If you have a plan, so you have control. At least if you don't have a plan, you will not have control. A separate department is set up for this work. Routing is determining the exact path or the exact way or the exact, we can say, method which will be followed in the production. It is the selection of the path from where each unit have to pass before reaching the final stage. So each unit or each device or each system will be or its path will be known from the beginning to the last stage. This stages, the stages from which goods are to pass are decided in this process. As we saw in the previous slides, the question was for the routing, what is the path or what is the way for that unit? Scheduling. Scheduling is the determining of time and date when each operation is to be commenced or completed. The time and date of manufacturing each component is what is fixed in such a way that assembling for final product is not delayed in any time. So you will assume that the final product will not be delayed in order to have the time or to put the time and the date for the manufactured components in order to have a right scheduling. So types of schedules. The first type is master scheduling. It is the breakup of a production requirement. It is the start of scheduling. It is prepared by keeping in view the order or likely sales order in near future. And the second type is manufacturing scheduling. It is used where the production process is continuous. So manufacturing scheduling, it is used where production process is continuous. The order of preference for manufacturer is also mentioned in the schedule for systematic production planning. And the third type is detailed operation scheduling. It indicates the time required to perform each and every detailed operation of given process. So we have master scheduling, and we have manufacturing scheduling, and we have detailed operation scheduling. And each type of these schedules have its own feature, its own importance. So based on the need of the firm or the work, the schedule or any type of schedule will be done there. Loading is the next step, which execution of the scheduling plan. So after scheduling, we have loading. As per the routes charted out, it includes the assignment of the work to the operations at their machines or workplaces. So loading determines who will do the work. If you recall, if you remember, we asked this question at the beginning. So loading means who will do the work. It doesn't require a person name. It might be a department name. This department or B department will do that job or will do that work. So this is the loading. Dispatching. It refers to the process of actually ordering the work to be done. It involves putting the plan into effect by issuing orders. It is concerned with starting the process and operation to the basis of route sheets and schedule chart. Follow up and expediting. Progress may be assessed with the help of routine reports or communication with operation departments. The follow-up procedure is used for expediting and checking the progress. Inspection. It is the process of ensuring whether the products manufactured are requisite quality or not. So it meets the satisfaction rate or satisfaction quality that is needed by the customer or management or no. So several tests for the equipment will be done until it reaches that level. So inspection is undertaken both the product and inputs. It is carried on at various levels of a production process so that predetermined standards of quality are achieved. Inspection ensures the maintenance and predetermining quality of a product. Limitations. There are number of limitations regarding this issue that we are talking about. The first one is assumption based. The second one is rigidity. The third one is difficult for small firms, so it's difficult to apply in the small firms, and also it is costly. Also dependence on external factors. This is a valid actually and very strong limitation because the dependence on external factors, yeah, this is very right, and it creates a big challenge actually in this issue. Also, the other limitation is teamwork is a must on this issue. Also demands high level of coordination and efficiency. Significance or importance, it is structured and planned process, increased production, seamless plant activity, better coordination, optimal resource utilization, cost control, rationalization of a production activity. As you can see, this is the chart of activities considered in the article reviewed, starting from 68.4 about the inventory control management and 17.1 master production scheduling, and the scheduling itself it's 11.8. So if we take the scheduling, it will be 29% if we add them together, and the inventory, it is very obvious it's the maximum and nothing is even reached the half of inventory control and management. So this is general conclusion, and I have detailed conclusion after this slide. Production planning and control represents the beating heart of any manufacturing process and are essential for customer delight and overall success of an organization. And this article that we have presented, it represents a review of literature around, not around, it is 76 articles exactly on PPC and remanufacturing, published between 2000 and 2009. So in 10 years, they have reviewed, the author reviewed 76 articles in these 10 years. It was shown that some of the areas indicated by the past article have been addressed in the last 10 years. Despite this evolution, 11 areas for future research were identified. So, and he mentioned, or he wrote, the 11 areas of future research. So, and this is very useful actually topics. So 11 topics that, or 11 areas for the scholars or for the students or for anybody who is interested in this subject, he can search on these 11 areas. This is very interesting actually. And he mentioned the 11 areas, and after that he said it was also found that more practical research or case studies is needed for all complicating characteristics of PPC activities in remanufacturing. Furthermore, it was revealed that none of the reviewed articles, see, this is last and important sentence. It was revealed that none of the reviewed articles approached all complicating characteristics simultaneously. In the same time, none of the 76 articles approached the complicated characteristic for PPC. So it is he opened a window for the next or the future case studies. It's very interesting topic if, for the people who is concerned in this issues to do more research on these topics. Thank you a lot. Uh, if you have any question, if you have any suggestion, if you have any addition, you can put it in the comments below, and hopefully we'll communicate through that. Thank you, everybody. Hope you at least take something or get benefit from this presentation. Thank you.